Can a man make mistakes? Is he eligible for redemption? Will it really hurt your spirit to make this one exception? If I did you wrong, am I wrong for doing you wrong? If we get back on and make a promise to get along, would you take me back? My bad, I'm back. Would you take me back? My bad, I'm back. Hopefully you'll take me back.
Hey, what's going on? What's up? It's the Big D. We back in this thing again today. Divorce News Daily segment of the show. We're going to get into some of these stories here. And you know what we do on this channel. We make sure that our head is on straight as men. It's kind of hard for us because we be stressed out, man. We got a lot of things going on. We got to find money, provide for the people around us, our family, our kids. You know, we got to deal with our bosses or, you know, maybe a business and clients and all that. And we get out of focus. I see a lot of videos, maybe it's just my feed or whatever, but I see a lot of videos of dudes chasing women, going to other countries chasing women, and not really understanding the dynamics, not thinking about the future and things that can happen to them. And so I think this channel is good because it kind of brings us back to reality a little bit, knowing that at some point this could all end, right? The honeymoon part is great. When you just meeting a person is great. And you thinking like this person is like, your sun, moon, and stars. And then all of a sudden, what is it? You know what I'm saying? It feel like you just met the devil in a dress, right? So, or a tight mini skirt, right? So, we trying to keep our head on straight and just, not to make you feel negative when you go in, not to make you think negative when you go in, but understanding that this could end and what could it look like when it actually does end. So that's why we kind of go over these stories. And so you can see what other men are going through. If you haven't been through it yourself, you can kind of see what they going through, seeing if their stories will relate to you in any type of way, or if you kind of run into a situation, you kind of know how to handle it or navigate it. You be like, oh, I heard about that before on the Big D channel, and I heard about something like this. So let me move this way, or let me kind of head that off a little bit because I'm savvy enough to know that this could really go wrong and this could go bad and this might not be a good situation for me. So let me navigate a little different. So that's what our goal and our aim is. So we're going to get in here and we're going to see what's going on today. I think we got some good ones for you today. Let's check it out and see what we got. All right, so we coming in hot today on the first one. It's in the Divorced Men Reddit under, I don't even know how to say the name. I ain't even gonna try. Look like it's just a bunch of letters. He says, but he coming high. He said, I can't stand my wife. All right. So he gonna have something to say. So my man says, today I finally said it. I told her I want a divorce, though I felt I only meant what I said partially. We have 2 kids and I love them, but I can't freaking stand her. She's inconsiderate. All she thinks about is herself. My man is not even hardly punctuating right or nothing. You can tell he hot. Can't remember the last time she said she loved me. She's extremely materialistic and has let Instagram distort her worldviews. She pretends to be Christian and does not live that way. She's not traditional, though she swears she is. She holds disdain towards me for her bad decisions in life and then get angry at me because I tell her I don't want to be a social media influencer the same way she does. And it's like she can't get past that. We don't date, we don't talk. If it weren't for my kids, I would have left 2 or 3 years ago. I know marriage isn't easy, but I can't do 10 or 20 more years of this. I know marriage. Oh, okay. So let me not repeat myself here. It says, let's see. I don't know. My man was writing something here. It says we dot. And maybe he meant we don't. Maybe we don't like the same things like we used to. Okay. Sometimes these sentences be written, man. I don't know why people don't go back and edit it. He said, she always intend with me. She always intend with me on how to raise our family. I don't know what that means, but maybe she always contends with him on how they should raise the family. It's a freaking nightmare. And get this, I provide everything in all caps. We live in San Diego, which is a nice spot out there. Both have cars, which I bought. A beautiful condo, which I renovated through my hard work. Beautiful kitchen, beautiful flooring. Our kids love their life. I don't know what to do anymore. So it seems like there's a lot kind of going on here. My man is fed up. It don't seem like she's hearing nothing that he got to say. But let's break it down. Let's get in here and see what we might be able to deduce from what we got here today. But the first thing I noticed that he's saying, like, he's venting. So I'm getting that he's venting because he told her that he wanted divorce, which is, you know, once you say those words, you can't really take it back, right? She's going to take it some kind of way. Remember what I told you in one of those last videos? I told you about how if it's not her decision for the divorce, sometimes she can't accept it, right? Now, if she's the one who told him she wanted a divorce, all bets is off, right? She's not, you know, she don't care nothing. She don't want to hear nothing, right? But since he's telling her, then I obviously feel, you know, I feel like there's obviously going to be some contention there, and she's not going to really accept it because it wasn't her decision, right? She probably wants to be in control of that. But he says he only met what he said partially. And then he talks about, yeah, they have 2 kids or whatever. So before you say those words, you need to know that you mean those words because they actually have real serious consequences. You can't always pull back from it if you don't mean it, right? So as men, we got to watch the things that we say. We need to be a little more measured. We need to actually have a thought process before we say it and be ready to stand on business if it comes about, right? So I noticed that a lot. You know, people tend to say things and then they want to pull it back, but you can't throw the rock and hide your hand. You got to kind of stand on business for what you're saying, right? So it sounds like he might though, because he kind of upset, and she talks about she's inconsiderate. She only thinks about herself. She's materialistic and let Instagram distort her worldviews. So I get that. So Instagram and social media kind of pushes us to think that everybody's living wonderful, everybody has all this money, and everybody's traveling, and everybody's got beautiful cars and beautiful houses and beautiful clothes and name brands. It pushes us to think that people is really living like that, but we know that's not really the case in real life. Because we see the flip side of that on social media too. We see how many people is complaining about how much debt they got, how much credit card debt they got, how much student loans they got, how hard it is to afford their rent and their groceries and all that. We see that all the time. We see the flip side of it too. So in my mind, sometimes I'm like, which one is it? Is everybody rich and balling, or is everybody broke? I'm getting 2 sides of this thing or whatever. And it's like, you can't believe everything that you see on social media, right? None of it really is none of your business. So it looks like she's caught up in it a little bit. She's seeing that, and maybe she had a bit of a young mind, you know what I'm saying? It seems like they haven't been married all that long, right? He don't really say how long they've been married or whatever, but people can be influenced by the things that they're looking at and the things that they consume on a daily basis. So it sounds like he's the one that's working everything. He says he provides everything. So maybe she's got a lot of idle time. And with that idle time, she's actually using that time to consume social media and feeling like she needs to be an influencer or something so that she can have the same lifestyle as these people that she's watching. But a quick video, you know, these people are giving you 30 seconds of their life. They probably shot the video like 18 times just to get it to look right so that it can present the right image to you, because that ain't what it really is, right? So you can't get caught up in that. I think she's kind of got caught up in it. She likes material things. Maybe he's not able to give her that, but he's providing her a life. And I think that's where the thing comes in, where she might be inconsiderate, because she may not be thinking about the things that she actually has and what he is providing. All of a sudden it becomes not good enough because she's comparing it to something else, right? So says she pretends to be Christian but doesn't live that way. Who really is living that way? Ain't that many people out there living the way Christ said, right? To be a Christian is to be a follower of Christ or whatever. Most people, is not really doing that either. So, so I can't really hold that against her. She's not traditional, even though she swears that she is. So men talk a lot about having a traditional wife. So what do y'all think a traditional wife is? Put that in the comments. What's some traits of a traditional wife? What should she be doing for her man and for her family and for her household that makes her a traditional wife? I know kind of what I feel like, but I'm a little different too because I'm not really looking for a traditional wife per se because I can handle so many things on my own. I've been doing it so long. I just don't even depend on nobody else to do nothing for me. So that's not really what I'm looking for. That's not my focus. So I don't know. So y'all tell me what y'all think a traditional wife is. Says she holds disdain towards me for her bad decisions in life and then gets angry at me because I tell her I don't want to be a social media influencer the same way she does. So I kind of get it. Maybe this is something that she wants to share with him. Maybe she has an idea about being an influencer or whatever, and she's doing it by herself, and maybe she wants him to kind of join in and be in that. And then maybe that's not his personality. Maybe he don't want to be on the camera all the time. It took me forever to want to even just be on the camera, even doing this. Like, I'm late to the party because I just didn't feel it, and it's cool. I get it. Now it's like I have a purpose behind what I'm doing, and that drives me to do it. I'm a purpose-driven person. So if you can't show me why I should be doing something, I ain't finna jump in there and do it, right? So that's why I'm on here now. But it's like, cause I think I can help some people. I think we can, healthy conversation helps people. And so that's why I'm on here, and I can be passionate about it. I can be open. I'm really introverted. I'm not that kind of person that wants to be out there. So I get it from his standpoint. He's like, yo, I'm working, I'm doing my thing or whatever. This is a whole other thing that's gonna become a responsibility, and I don't even really wanna do this. But she's pushing for it because this is her interest or whatever. So he might wanna consider that. He might wanna consider the fact that she has an interest in being an influencer. She might wanna share that with him. Some things might change if he jumps on there with her once in a while. So, sometimes you got to give and take a little bit. Don't just discount what your partner is saying or whatever. This damn computer is tripping. This is one of the USBs just be tripping, man. So I'm gonna have to go disconnect that sucker in a minute. But yeah, like, sometimes we don't consider what our partner likes, and we don't want to engage in what our partner likes because it's not our thing. But that's your partner. Maybe you need to jump in there sometimes and do some things with her, just like you would like her to come do things with you. She might not like fishing or whatever, but you like to go fishing. But you want to drag her along because you want her company, right? So she might want the company too, from her husband or whatever. So I can see it kind of from both sides. Okay, so let me go turn this thing off and I'll be right back. Man, the computer be driving me crazy sometimes. So as my keyboard and mouse in the booth or whatever, that hub, that USB hub, be acting up, man. So just be disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting, connecting. I gotta go disconnect it. So maybe he needs to spend some time with her, figure out maybe a way where he can be involved a little bit, enough to make her happy, but not be on there all the time, right? Maybe he could say, listen, it might add some variety to your show or whatever it is that you're trying to put forth or whatever. I'll come on there, make a couple of cameos or whatever, but don't expect me to be on there every single day. Who knows? He might get involved in something, might take off or whatever like that and start making some money for her or whatever like that. And boom, like he might want to be in it, because there's some money out here, and there's some money out here in the social media spaces. So he might not be just open to it or whatever. I would say, maybe be a little more open to checking out some things with her, do a couple little things with her. If it's really not your thing, you're just gonna have to nix that or whatever and find a different way. And I think that disconnect that they're having right there is bleeding into other things and how they feel about each other. When you have something that's really important to you, like, look, I'm in my studio right now. Music is important to me. So, if somebody is trying to drag me away from my music or whatever, or telling me it's not worth doing or whatever like that, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to get rid of that person before I get rid of my music. So, because I've been doing this for a long, long time. Like, I've been doing this, like, I've had studios and stuff for like 30 years. like since the late 90s. So I'm not just gonna throw away what makes me happy and the things that I've built up and what we've invested in just to make you happy because you don't understand it or you don't like it. I'm not gonna throw it away. But I'm not gonna force my partner to be here or whatever like that and come around and be in it because then maybe that's not her interest either. So, I think that's the disconnect that they having right there. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But like he said, we don't date, we don't talk. So you might want to get out there and take her on a date. Take her to a nice restaurant or something that allows her to do whatever influence. Maybe she's one of those one that likes a little luxury stuff and all that. Take her to a nice restaurant where she could take a nice picture of the meal that you're having or whatever. She can get dolled up, dressed up or whatever. You take some pictures for or whatever. Indulge her that way. Where like, look, I don't want to be on the camera, but I understand this is the thing that you want to do. Let's make it so that we get you out there and get you out there in a way that looks good. As long as you respect me as a man and you're not entertaining the guys and stuff that's going to come with that and the comments and the DMs that's going to come with that. As long as you respect me and you keep it on a respectable level, I'll be there to help you do this type of stuff. That might open her up a little bit. Maybe by you showing that, you want to be a little more involved in what she's interested in might help. Now, I'm not saying that's going to help for sure. I can't say that for sure because sometimes there are a lot of people who, once you give them a little bit, what do they want? They want a little bit more. And you give them a little bit more and they want a little bit more. Next thing you know, you done gave them a big chunk and you can't, you can't take it back. And now you've kind of conditioned them to what you're giving, right? And they haven't given you nothing back. So I would be like, listen, I'm going to help you with this, but this is what I need as well on the other side or whatever. Tell me you love me sometimes. And, and not out of obligation or whatever. Let's get closer. Let's get closer together or whatever. So I'm doing this because I want to be close to you. I want you to feel good. I want you to be successful, but I need some reciprocation in that. And if I can't get that reciprocation, then obviously we might have to go a different separate paths. Maybe we have separate paths in life. And unfortunately, we got a couple of kids that are involved or whatever, but we might have to go our own separate way. And they living out there in San Diego, says they're out there in San Diego. It's probably not cheap. I've been out there in San Diego, whatever. It's expensive. Real estate is expensive out there. Got some nice restaurants and things going out there or whatever. Had some nice times out there in San Diego. So it's beautiful, man. So utilize the beauty that's there. Utilize what's around you. Parks and the water that's out there or whatever, and the boats that's out there and the marinas or whatever. She want to take pictures or whatever. Find a way, find a way to make it good for her, as an influencer or whatever, and support her, but maybe you don't be involved with it, yourself, like on camera or something like that. Just find a way. I think it's something that could be fixed by just being involved with her. But there's some other things, like he's talking about her being materialistic and all that kind of stuff. That's his view of it, but maybe she just wants more. Maybe she's living in San Diego so she could see the lifestyles and things out there. She can see what things cost out there. Maybe she wants a little bit more, and maybe she's feeling like if she does some things or whatever, there might be a little bit more money. And maybe the money that he's bringing in is covering expenses, is covering everything or whatever, but she just wants a little bit more. She wants a little bit better lifestyle or whatever. And he might feel some kind of way because he's feeling like, oh, she don't appreciate what I'm already doing. So you got to find that out. You got to have that conversation or whatever, but I don't think you can really have that conversation until you start to put your foot forward, throw the olive branch out there a little bit, help her out, just kind of see where it goes from there, see if she becomes happy with the way that you helping her or whatever, kind of get established, do her influencer thing. And, as long as it's not taken away from the household and it's not taken away from her taking care of the kids and all that type of thing, tell her that you in it. Because if you split from her, she's still going to do it anyway. So do you want to take your family away from your kids? That's a thing that you got to think about. Do you want to take the family away from the kids and then have her still doing the same thing anyway? She's going to live the same lifestyle anyway. So find a way to be involved, you know what I'm saying? And maybe keep your family together. That's normally the end goal, is like keep the family together for the kids. So, but I get it though. If it's too much for you, Sometimes you got to let it go. So maybe I'm wrong. I'm, you know, you know how that goes. We give advice like, hey, but I don't know though. But maybe I'm wrong. But I'm just looking at it from a different perspective, trying to give people a different way to think about things or whatever. I know I kind of tend to think about things different. I'm learning that through social media because I'll be commenting sometimes and people be like thinking I'm crazy or I'm strange. So maybe I'm strange or maybe I'm crazy with my thought process on it. But you know, that's what I got to give. So what do y'all think? Y'all discuss it in the comments and let me know what you think should be done. All right, so this next one here is a whole topic that we just made a video about, porn addictions and stuff like that. So my man, let's see what he's talking about. This is WW3 historian, World War III historian. Okay, let's see. Reason for divorce, he says, my ex-wife's lack of interest in sex after our second kid led me to turn to porn. I was jerking off probably once a day. She caught me a couple of times, got angry, but I just brushed it off and kept doing it. When we were divorcing, she said having me look at porn made her feel like crap and was one of the main reasons for divorce. She never acknowledged that her lack of initiation of sex for over 10 years contributed to my porn addiction. When I would initiate, it took a lot of convincing for her to agree, and then I got the starfish treatment. Funny thing, now that I'm single, I have no desire for porn. All right, so, hey, listen, people have their desires, right? A lot of how we're made is chemical. So we're looking for certain chemical responses, right? We need that dopamine sometimes. So, you know, they was married at least 10 years. He said for over 10 years, she did not initiate sex. I don't know. He doesn't really say how it was in the beginning or if it was different in the beginning or while they was dating or what was going on with them. But he's definitely saying that for 10 years, she wouldn't initiate sex. Now, there's a lot of women that are not comfortable with initiating sex or whatever. Maybe they want the man to do it. And I get that, how that can feel. That can feel very, very discouraging as a man because it feels like she doesn't want it unless you ask her for it. And then, like he said, you get the starfish treatment. So you're getting, you know, it's just like it's, you know, it's not good. It almost feels like for a man, if women are watching this, I'm going to tell you right now, when a man wants to have sex and maybe the woman doesn't and she does kind of this perfunctory performance, it might make the man feel bad. You know, he might feel like, oh, like it's almost like he's taking something from her that she doesn't want to give him. So it makes us not even perform well. You know, I know that's the way I am. I have to be mentally in the game, right? So once you take that mental part out of the game, it's very hard to perform physically and you feel bad after you do it. And sex shouldn't be that way. Sex is a natural thing. It should be a good thing between two people. And you should never be withholding it from your partner to the point where it drives them to other women or other, you know, other mediums like porn or whatever. So I can't say that porn is, you know, him going to porn or whatever is the answer in that situation. I think maybe therapy could be done, talking to her, finding out what it is that's driving her away, working on yourself. One thing that you can't discount, and this is very, very important, can't discount jealousy. So maybe you gotta get yourself in a better position physically. Maybe financially you're doing all right, but be physical, look good, your clothing, how you dress, how you carry yourself. Other women will notice that. Even when you with your woman, they will notice that. And single women tend to be interested and tend to kind of pay attention to dudes that are with a woman. I don't know why that is. Well, we kind of know why it is, because they feel like, oh, if she liked him, then why does she have him, kind of thing, right? So it's like, if he was good enough for her to get, then why didn't he want me? Almost like that, right? I got somebody that I know that kind of is like that. She's like, if she see you with somebody or whatever, she wants you because she doesn't understand why you didn't choose her. You know, so play the game, man. Play the game a little bit. You got to kind of big yourself up. Wear cologne. Find some nice colognes. Go shopping for that a little bit. You ain't got to spend a lot of money. Go find something that smells good or whatever. Start throwing it on or whatever like that. And the way you kind of walk and the way that you move or whatever like that, get some swag about yourself. Get some swag about you feeling good about yourself, and just start to live your life in a way where you feel accomplished. Be happy with the things that you do have. Maybe you don't got your wife, popping and doing everything that you want to do or whatever. You got to kind of like, just kind of create your own little ecosystem, your own little world, and get it popping right for yourself. And maybe she'll take notice of that. Like, oh, look, when we was in the mall, these chicks kept looking at my husband. We was in the grocery store and the old ladies kept looking like, oh, he's a catch. And so that might turn her on to like, oh, wait a minute, let me reevaluate what I got. But sometimes they get to the point where it's like even that don't work, and it ends up like this, right? You end up divorced or whatever. So like he said, like at the end, he's single, he don't need porn or whatever. Maybe he's dating. Maybe he doesn't really say or whatever like that. Maybe he's found somebody else, or he's got a single life where he's doing things. I think maybe he found like the way he likes to move and he's living his life or whatever. He doesn't have this hanging over his head anymore, thinking about sex, and not the availability of it is not there anymore or whatever. But now it's there, so maybe he's not worried about it. Sometimes we want something so bad and we focus on it not being around, and it takes over our life, right? But then once we have it or once we get it, we realize it's not even as important as we thought. So, if you're struggling with a porn addiction and all that kind of stuff, seek some help. But I mean, porn is out there, whatever. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do with that. But don't use it as the crutch to not work on your relationship or not try to fix your relationship. I would say get some therapy, try to drag her in and see if maybe she can explain what it is, to somebody else, that why she's feeling the way she's feeling. She may not understand why she's feeling how she's feeling. Don't pressure it too much or whatever, but get some swag about yourself. Make sure that you look presentable and good. And if you do end up in divorce, you already been living this life. This is how you move. This is your swagger. This is how you move. This is how how you getting through life. And people are going to see that confidence. Other women going to see that confidence. And you might end up with a woman who wants you all the time. So that speaks to a lot of things. We'll probably talk about that at some point. Picking the woman that loves you and wants you, not picking the woman that you want, right? So we're going to jump off here. I know we kind of went a little long today. I'm going to jump off here. I probably might do a couple of these today, and just because I want to break it up. I don't want to keep you guys on here for an hour or something. Maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes or whatever is good every day. But thanks for checking out the Big D channel. Like and subscribe. Peace.
Can a man make mistakes? Is he eligible for redemption? Will it really hurt your spirit to make this one exception? If I did you wrong, am I wrong for doing you wrong? If we get back on and make a promise to get along, would you take me back? My bad, I'm back. Would you take me back? My bad, I'm back.